Have Wrath of the Lamb, OST, My Innermost Apocalypse from The Binding of Isaac, by Danny B is the composer. We're going to be analyzing this. I'm going to try to put everything in as much layman's terms as I can to explain what is happening musically. And yes, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, do so now. If you haven't joined the Discord, do so now. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you're subscribed, liked, and shared, and all that kind of stuff. Let's get started. Let's see what we got. Okay, intro. That is fun, really fun stuff. We start with percussion, drums, brass, and an organ. We have an organ. The organ, of course, if you ever want that feeling of cathedral-esque, you put an organ. If you want something to feel like it has those religious implications, spiritual implications in the sense of the, like Judeo-Christian, you put an organ. And it gives you that sense of cathedral. The boss is literally in an area called the Cathedral. There you go. I didn't even know. I haven't played Binding of Isaac, which it's also on the list. And we have brass. Risky move. Every time you include brass instruments being the trumpet, the trombone, the tuba, to an extent the French horn. And in this case, I think it was the tubas and the trombones. That's what it sounded to me. We're gonna check. And the risky thing with brass is that it's very easy for brass instruments to overpower the rest of the ensemble. Strauss used to say, do not look at the brass players, you will only encourage them. Because you can have the entire orchestra, we're talking 24 violins, 12 violas, 10 cellos, 8 double basses, 3 flutes, 3 oboes, 3 clarinets, 3 bassoons, and percussion playing as well. You can have a timpani, you can have a big bass drum, and a single trombone. Like, they could all be playing loud, really loud, and a single trombone is likely going to be able to sound louder than all of those instruments combined. So it's very risky to play, to add brass to your music. You really have to know what you're doing because it's very easy to mess it up. Right now, it's working really well. And we heard the drums coming in, putting in a rhythm, a beat. So we bring... Okay. So now we switched over to guitar, drums. Of course, there's a bass, and it sounds like a synth doing a motif. A motif, of course, being the smallest version of your musical idea, a seed, so to speak. It's the seed of your music from which everything else. Doing an imitation rhythmically of what the guitar is doing while doing a melody. Really cool. We have the organ in the background. I can hear that arpeggiation. I'm trying to pinpoint what instrument that is. We have something in the background. Sounds like a keyboard, maybe with a little bit of harp. Kind of like not really a xylophone. Maybe kind of like a xylophone with some effects added to it to numb it down a little bit. But it's doing these... It's playing the chords in what is called arpeggiation. That's when you play one note at a time in a chord. When you play a chord one note at a time. And it's giving it this almost like bubbles effect. Like it's breathing out bubbles. Which I know in The Binding of Isaac that has kind of like a theme to it for the projectiles. But there you go. Okay, you have this... Yeah, this synth is really... It's this synth that is playing, so now that it's by itself, it's very interesting. One thing to note, the harmonic rhythm of this is insanely fast. A harmonic rhythm is, partially speaking, the structure of the song and how fast or slow the overall chords and the overall structure of the song is moving. We are 30 seconds in, and we are in the third change. To be fast, it's a bullet hell boss. This is insanely fast, how fast it's changing. We're not talking about just the tempo and the pace, because it makes sense that it's going to be fast-paced, but this is the third, and it has multiple phases. Okay, there you go. That's probably why, because this is really fast. This is, even for a fast song, this is really fast, because it's not the fact that the drums are fast, it's the fact that that the song is fast. It's risky. It is very risky, but so far, it has worked really, really well. It is tensing me up a little bit, which I can see how this is a final boss kind of thing. It's kind of what it's supposed to do. You're supposed to be tense. It's the tension of the situation, plus the tension added by the music. This sounds like it is working the way it was intended to. So epic on a 5th time playing this boss. There you go. So yeah, now you have... So yeah, one thing I'm finding this almost claustrophobic. I'm feeling the pressure because nothing is breathing. Usually when you compose a piece of music, you want to give some time of release, slowing down. Like we had a section right now that slowed down, but you want to have a section that lets you just absorb and soak in what you just heard. Something a little bit slower. We had 10 seconds of that. And now we're back. Now we're back. The pressure's back on. The pressure's back on, which it's a final boss. You don't get a break. You get a final boss. Then it is a music genius. The whole original classic sound, Isaac soundtrack is good, but this is meant to be the absolute apex of the whole soundtrack. So this is probably going to incorporate aspects of other tracks that I haven't listened to yet. Because this, another thing that is happening here. Yeah, another thing that is happening here. A lot of different motifs. This is a lot of seeds happening in really fast succession. The theme we heard in the first 10 seconds was a different theme that we heard in the second 10 seconds, and the third 10 seconds, and the fourth, and now again. So this could be callbacks to the entire soundtrack that are being tied together. Where it borrows some elements from the songs from each floor as you progress through the dungeon. There you go. So it's all tied together with this synth and the drums, of course. And we are revisiting each level. So that's why. It's a flashback. Okay. It's finally breathing a little bit. Okay, there you go. There you go. So now, after a very hectic intro, which was pretty much 10 seconds of each of other themes, now we're entering the fight. Now we're going for this. Now we start. Now we got our main theme, we got our main rhythm, and we got the main motif, which is playing in that synth high above. Yep, we got this. Yep, motif is being repeated now on the middle with a really fun drums, really fun guitar. Ooh, risky again. Deliberate clipping of a microphone. This is the final version of the track. There's no way, absolutely no way in hell that clipping was left there intentionally, because it's there rhythmically. There is something there. I can't quite explain what it is, because it clipped the microphone. When a microphone clips, it means that the amount of sound going in is too much for the microphone to handle. So the microphone is overloaded and the data is distorted in the microphone. And it gives this like pagey, raspy sound, really difficult to tell what it is, almost like it's a glitch. But what is happening is that it's overloading. And that is happening to the rhythm, to the beat. So these are placed there. It feels extraterrestrial. It feels like it shouldn't be there, but it's there anyway, and it has imposed itself on it. Yeah, it's keeping the rhythm of the kick drums. Yeah. Okay, back to the initial horns, that initial rhythm. So we have that rhythm, then we have the concept of a flying melody. This is something I love. I love this. I love this so much. Every single time, if you've seen many of the if you've seen other videos of you've been on the streams, you will know how much I love flying melodies. That's what I call the concept of there's a lot going on in the middle range and in the lower range. The basses are going absolutely insane. The guitar is going absolutely insane. Everything. And then at the top, you have a melody that is nice and simple and is just flying, elongated, flying above everything, a top-down view of everything else, just enjoying and soaring through the landscape. It's a beautiful concept. It's being carried out right now. And here, this little here is around where it loops. Do you last long enough for the loop? There you go. Makes sense. After the intro, we bring back the organ with the brass, and now there you go. Back to those arpeggiations. So now, okay, this is interesting. Now we're revisiting those themes from the start for about the same duration, but because now the drums have had the time, and the organ has had the time, and everything else has had the time to settle in, now it doesn't feel as rushed as it did before. Now it just feels like progression. Very interesting use of this, yes. And because the main melody is above there, I love this synth. I love the sound of this synth. Hey, it's Jessica. Welcome to today. How you doing? Yep, strings at the top. We go back to this theme again. Yeah, we're revisiting so many of these themes. Oh, change of theme, change of section, contrast. Yeah, it is the bass drum that has an extra layer of bass that is clipping the microphone. That is clipped. And he left it in to give that sense of it visualizing it. It's like these things in the background to me. It's that level of disturbing of it shouldn't be there. This sounds so weird. Why is it there? But it's following the rhythm of the kick drum. So it's an extra layer to give it that sense of uneasy and unsettling. This is insane. And we have that keyboard. We have that synth playing these different themes, but they're all still related to that original theme. This is really good. Playing chords to progress. Yep. So yeah, this is pretty much just progressing through what the entire chord progression. It's almost just, it's letting you breathe a little bit while still having this deformed clipping of the drums. It's so unusual. So unusual. I like it. Back to the start, but now with a different drums, different guitar. Organ is back. So yeah, now we are revisiting this in such a way. So yes, structurally speaking, what is happening here is called a rondo. Rondo, which means to go around. So we had the intro, these extremely hectic versions of a shortened thing, which we're going to call section A. Then we jumped over to section B for the first part of everything. Then we went back to A prime, which is a variation of it. You know, it's section A, but it had drums. The drums are different now. It has the guitar, and it has everything. And instead of going back to B, we went to C. A third section scrounged in between all of these. And now we have gone back to A double prime. And this is a form that you can continue for as long as you want. You don't have to go add an extra prime, an extra variation each time. You can just do A, B, A prime, C, A prime, or even A, B. Like the original rondo is A, B, A, C, A until you finish. Until you finish. You just keep going for all of them. You just keep going, just keep going, just keep going. And in this case, I think we're up to C. We're going back to A double prime. We still have another couple of minutes left, so let's hear where it goes. Yeah, we're going back to this A prime. Although, no, it is playing those. Yep, it's playing through all of those. This is the A section. It's playing that intro again. But with all of these very different elements, tying everything together, variations. Now we go to section D. And we're probably gonna end with either section A prime, A double prime, triple prime, whatever it is. Let's see. Okay, and another interesting element of this is that each time one of these sections is going on, each of these, for example, this the B section was split into idea 1 and idea 2. Then we had C section, which was idea 3, and then idea 2. So that everything still links back to A, that everything still progresses back. So we are having these new ideas being put together, but everything still loops back. It's not entirely the section A again, but it leads to it. It's a very interesting way of connecting the rondo together by splitting down each of the other sections down the middle. Because A is already a bunch of sections already. A bunch of subsections altogether. It's already there. But this is an interesting one. I have purchased games solely because Danny V's did music for them. Good. I mean, if Hakita made soundtrack for something else, I'll buy it. If Lorien Testard makes music for any other game, I'll buy that game in a heartbeat. So, yeah. I can see why. This is really good. Let's see if my theory holds. We should be jumping back onto either the A section or an outro. There you go, A section. A section again. Linear games got the OST. The OST is brilliant in that one too. I played Automata, I haven't played Replicon. And there you go. So it fades. So this fades because it would be heading over. Yep, so it would be heading over. So there is going to be another point here, a little bit before this, that would loop back so that it can just keep going. But there you go. It is a modified version of a rondo. It is a modified rondo, which is something I love about music structure. You can do these things. You can take these concepts. You can take the concept of an A, B, and A and decide, okay, but what if A is broken into seven different parts, then B is 2 parts, and then we go back to A. That is something I love about music. There are no rules. There are parameters that you can use. There are common practices. There are no rules. But there you go. This was really good. This was really good, and it keeps calling back. And each time we went back to the A theme, it felt a little bit different, which is kind of the point of the rondo, because you are just landing back here. How the fuck did I end up back here kind of thing, right? Really, really good. The new Isaac game is an improvement in literally every manageable way, except the soundtrack, which was way worse because it's not Danny B. Okay. I have the Flash Isaac soundtrack. Nice. Third most downloaded mod of all time. Damn. Okay, so there you go. That was Wrath of the Lamb OST, My Innermost Apocalypse, from the Binding of Isaac soundtrack by Danny B. This was really, really well made. I'm pretty sure if I had the context of the rest of the soundtrack, because this is the final boss, it would probably have a bit more impact on me, as I can see that Potato has. But still, this was incredibly well crafted. A lot of risky decisions in this. A lot of really, really risky decisions. We are talking very... this is not walking on thin ice. This is stomping through thin ice type of decisions. It's incredibly risky. It is so easy. That line that he's treading there, Danny B, that line between a really good soundtrack and complete garbage, he was right on the edge every single time. So really good. Really good. I really, really enjoyed it. Very good stuff. And that's that. If you're watching this on YouTube, because these go up on YouTube, make sure you're subscribed. Thank you for watching. And if you want to request a song from the YouTube comments, just put the YouTube comment. Game music only, because of the copyright is easier for video games. And yeah, we'll record it on the next one that we see. So make sure you're subscribed, that you like, you share, all that kind of stuff. Really good stuff. Binding of Isaac. There you go. But yeah, anyway.